In the last episode, GTO managed to help us recover some much needed finances, most of which I'm immediately going to spend on yet another new sports car. Before that though, there is a small matter of the International A licence that still needs to be obtained. Once these licence tests are complete, I'm going to go straight into the normal car challenge, which despite the name was not normal at all. It took a lot of retries, a lot of failed captures, many different cars and so many annoying attempts to finally find the car and actually have the skill set to complete it. Because the AI NSX is ridiculous once it gets into the lead. Like, you can go as fast as you like and that will always be half a second or a second quicker, no matter how fast or slow you go. It will always be at least half a second quicker. So you need to be able to start near the front and get in to the lead as quickly as possible, otherwise it will just run away from you, which it inevitably does in a couple of the races. Anyway, once this final test is complete and we've obtained our International A licence, we shall run the intro and get into the normal cut. Thank you for calling roadside assistance. Please hold. All our operators are currently busy at the moment. So the car that I finally was able to settle on was the NSX Type R. Mid-engined, rear-wheel drive, really good direction change. This was actually the championship that I originally brought the GTO for, but it was just far too heavy to be able to keep up with the NXS Type S0 that just decides to run away with everything unless you are in the lead. Because if you're in the lead, then they kind of just sit at your pace. But if you let them get ahead and, you know, sort of 3/4 of a second to a second ahead of you, then they end up just pulling and pulling and pulling, going faster and faster and faster, and it's impossible to catch up. Or at least for someone with my skill set. So here we are at Autumn Ring Mini 2, managed to get pole quite comfortably, but immediately the other NSX gets into the lead, and there we are. We're going full on broadcast now with the hybrid of gameplay and replay footage. Because I can't not use these replay cameras, they're just so good. But obviously the information and certain times using the gameplay footage just works a little bit better. Like there, when I'm going fast tracking for some reason, the replay didn't really capture that, so having this as well is a major advantage. There we go again, Lawnmower Simulator. Heading towards the end of lap 2, managed to actually not play Lawnmower Simulator this time. Yeah, I've got a little bit of a gap at the moment, but I don't remember keeping that entirely. But this race was actually one of the easiest. This and the next one I managed to get done quite well on this round, mostly because they were the two races that I'd done 100 times already in various different cars, so I kind of knew them a bit better than what I would have had I managed to do it straight away. So although this looks like I'm absolutely dominating this race and I'm going to dominate the championship, that is not the case. Then into the last corner. Nice little drift, but a little bit wide. Heading on to the last lap. I believe this is our fastest lap of the race so far. Yep, there we go. 37.8. Not too bad. Little dab of the brakes there. Bring it round. Again, another little dab of the brakes just to get the nose in. Here we are. Into the quick left-hander now. Then bottom of the hill, the right hander hairpin, and then all the way up the hill again. Into the last corner. Accelerating out and on to the finish line for the end of the first race. Yeah, like I said, although it looks like I've dominated that by nearly 3.5 seconds, and I will seem quite comfortable in the next race as well, after that it's anybody's game really. But this is the main reason why I wanted to get this done ASAP, is the prize money is fantastic. Finally move up in the world and get a decent amount of prize money. Yep, again, pole by just over a second. Another 10,000 credits just for pole position, which is very nice. Up to 250,000. Let's head into this race. One of the longer races in this championship, I think. Not the longest. The longest is certainly the last one. But once again, the other NSX has launched immediately into the lead. I've decided to go lawn mode simulator again. He's a little bit slow around here, but he was just kind of in that awkward place where I then had to ease off, otherwise I would have hit him. Didn't do that very well, but I can just go full throttle around here. He slides a little bit on the exit, so that really helps. Again, flat through here as long as you get your line right, which he hasn't, so he's on the grass bouncing away, which has really helped us get straight up to behind him, but I had a little moment on the exit as well, so still managed to send it down the inside. There we go. But once again, because he's lighter and they're always so much quicker out of corners anyway, he's immediately back ahead. But I'm able to tuck into a slipstream, gain a decent amount of speed, and try and send it to turn one. There we are. Now what I noticed in the replays is I wasn't the only one that ran wide there. He ran wide as well, which is why he wasn't able to get past me when I do that. However, he does give me a little love tap. There we go. Nice little speed beast. Into the tunnel for the second time. Nice little drift as well. He's gone very wide there actually. Over the crest, down the hill, heading into the last corner now. Braking early, little slide into it, but held that nicely. I think I was on a little bit of counter steer there. Try not to hit the grass, lose too much time. Cross the line, start lap 3. Thought I'd follow the NSX for a little while, or the other NSX for a little while, just to show that he's still really close to me. If I make any sort of big error, he is right there to pounce. Little chicane, nice little bounce there. There's the last hairpin again. Little wide, little slide. That's messed up my exit speed a little bit, but I'm hoping I'm far enough ahead to stay ahead by the time we get down to the first corner. It's also fastest lap of the race so far. There he is again. A little bit further ahead this lap. And then that's the Supra that's in third. Skyline in fourth. Impreza in fifth. And then a Lancer all the way in sixth. Yeah, we are now back to the last corner once again. Much better exit onto the final straight and heading on to the last lap now. Love these two corners. They're difficult, but once you get them right, they feel so good, and you can keep so much speed through them. The hairpin looked like I took that quite nicely. Wide entrance just to be able to keep the throttle in and hit the apex quite nicely. And again, full throttle around this left-hander. Little slide, I had a little bit more wide entrance, but it's all good. Heading up into the last corner once again, or for the final time. So you hit nice and neat and tidy. Little dab of the exit curb, and there we are, across the line. Second victory of the championship. It was much closer this time, not even 2 seconds behind, but the Supra was about, what was that, 10, 12 seconds behind this time. So it really is NSX versus NSX. Another 50,000 credits for winning. You know, really starting to gain some credits now, which is exactly what I wanted. On to what I like to call Momentum City, because this circuit is all about momentum. You have to keep the momentum going, otherwise you're just going to lose too much time and they will just fly away from you. We've not managed to get pole this time, but we're still close enough. So heading into the race now. Bit of a strange camera angle to start a race, but never mind, it is what it is. Either way, we're still sat in second, heading up to the first corner. Normally it's because he's outlaunched us. This time it's because we've qualified in second. A little bit of momentum there, but it wasn't too bad. Super is trying to duck under us. Doesn't help us into this corner, which is difficult because you're braking while turning. You're turning left, but you need to turn right. So it's quite easy to end up in the wall, which we certainly do a couple of times. But trying not to let this NSX get away. Thankfully, he likes to kiss that wall on the exit there, so we've actually managed to get into the lead already. But I can tell you now, we do not stay there. Especially when you're going to understeer into a wall like that. Ducking down the inside, and that's sort of messed us up, and we've then sort of had a bit of a moment into that chicane. It looked a bit weird. I can't really explain it. Okay, ducking under him again in the tunnel, and once again he's kissed that wall on the exit. Not as bad this time, so he didn't lose as much time. So still, you know, still relatively close. I'm trying to turn into a corner that's not there at the moment. Another slide into the barrier, but not as bad this time. Here you just need to kind of ease off a little bit, and he's sent it and bashed us into a wall, because the AI love to do that. Can we get this corner right this time? Yeah, that was so much better. That's helped us massively, because we can go full throttle around here as well, and they like to ease off a little bit. We're now right on his gearbox again, trying to duck under the inside. He's come across to try and stop us, but we've managed to just about get our nose in front before he come across. Or nose level, really. Onto the full flap. Are we going to hit the barrier on the outside again this time? No, not this time. We're also not going to get smacked into a wall at turn 2 this time. And we get this second chicane right this time. We'll slide there. He's tried to send it, but we've managed to get round. But because we've run wide on the exit, he's really close. I thought he was going to be next to us there, but not quite. Into the AI's least favourite couple of corners. I love going slow and wide around in the tunnel and then hitting the barrier on the exit. That was our fastest lap of the race so far, which is good. The last lap, another wall kiss there, but didn't cost us too much momentum that time. Like I said, just an ease off for turn 2, get the nose in. Hit the wall on the inside there, and that's helped him get next to us, but thankfully we're heading into the section where I'm so much quicker. Through the tunnel for the last time, make sure I don't hit the wall. Up to the line, and there we go. Victory 3 of 3. We are now 9 points ahead in the championship, I believe. Only 1.1 seconds ahead that time, but like I said, it's definitely closer than it was appearing to be in race 1. I could have easily lost this one, but another 50,000 credits to add to our total. Nearly on 200,000 now, which is nice. Heading into race number 4. And I had an absolute shocking qualifying performance, I believe. Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad, but still starting last, which when the NSX just decides to fly away is not good. Heading into turn 1 now. Managed to get a couple of the AI cars up into 4th. You can see the NSX has already got a little bit of a gap over the other two. The Imprezza's run wide a little bit there, so that's up into 3rd. Over the crest. Back down the hill into this corner where the AI do tend to be a little bit slower, but certainly around this second part. It just helped me get close that gap on the Supra. That's under the inside, hit the wall on the inside. Still managed to get in front, probably because I smacked him out of the way, but never mind. I'm trying to get after this other NSX. Don't want him to get too far in front because he will then just start pulling away. He's already got a big enough gap for me to worry about it. So I need to be absolutely perfect here, and running wide there is not absolutely perfect. Start lap 2. Throw it into turn 1, very fast corner. Long sweeping right hander that tightens a little bit, not massively, but just a tiny little bit to keep you on your toes. And the AI's least favourite corner. And we've gained nothing really. We're still probably further behind, especially now that I'm pretending to be a lawnmower again. Yeah, we're further behind than what we were on the first lap. So I really need to pull my finger out and try and gain rather than lose. I'm nowhere near close enough to be able to send it on him into that final hairpin. That was a much better exit this time though. Heading up the hill, trying to keep it in a straight line, which is difficult with the D-pad. First corner again, round. Unfortunately, they're really quick around there on this reverse layout, but when you're going forwards, they can be quite slow around that final corner. Bit strange how just by reversing the track, they can suddenly become really quick around certain corners and really slow around others. Because they're not massively slow around these two corners on the forward layout, but on this reverse layout they do lose a bit of time, especially around that second part, like I said earlier. We have gained a little bit here. Running a little bit wide, but not too bad. We would make sure I'm staying off that grass. I don't want to lose any time at all. As soon as I say that, I start hitting the grass. On to the next lap, which I believe is the 4th lap. Could be wrong. We've not had the gameplay footage up for a little while, have we? Yep, there we go. 4th lap. I knew it wasn't going to be long before I put this gameplay footage back up. That wasn't planned at all. Into press, down the hill again, into the double right-hander. We are definitely closer. Yeah, gained a couple of tenths there. Really pushing at this point, just to try and gain as much time as possible, just to give us just a slither of hope of getting him on that final lap. I'm kind of thinking at this point, right, and if I can have another lap like that, I can fully send it into this final corner and it not be ridiculous. Across the line, onto the last lap. And gameplay footage doesn't have us looking as close as the replay camera, does it? Wasn't quite close enough to get any slipstream either. This was the biggest thing, I think. If I'd managed to get a bit of slipstream there and got a little bit closer heading into this section, may have been able to make an overtake here, but alas, we're a bit too far behind. But despite that little mistake there, we've still gained a bit of time. We're definitely within striking distance, I think. But that mistake there is not going to help at all. No, I think this is race over here. There's no way we're going to be anywhere near close enough to send it to the last corner without being utterly stupid and just, you know, doing the Gran Turismo thing, or what, actually doing the Forza Motorsport thing. I'm not going to do the Forza Motorsport thing. That is not a bit of me. So we'll settle for second. We're still leading the championship, so I'm not going to complain at that. Right, lost 3 points of our gap, but we're still leading. Right. 6 points ahead. Heading into the final race. Only 10,000 credits per second as well, so it really is worth trying to win as many of these as possible. But we're heading into special stage Route 11, the longest circuit on the track. I really enjoy it, although I'm rubbish at certain points. Front row start again, which is nice. No pole bonus credits, but never mind. Let's get this final race done. Another very strange camera angle to start a race, but here you go. Moving into the first corner. Sweeping right. First braking point is technically turn 2. And a nice little chicane here, which can be very difficult, especially if you end up in that gap on the outside there. Just trying to... The car always seems a little bit wobbly on the first lap. Probably cold tyres, even though there isn't tyre wear on these races, only in the endurance races. But they still seem to act as if they need to warm up. I don't actually know whether that was a feature back then. It wouldn't surprise me knowing Kazunori Yamauchi. Not personally, but you know what I mean. Yeah, that doesn't help. Oh no. That's definitely cost us any chance of victory. Hitting that wall like that. What? Like I said, I'm rubbish at certain points, and that certain point is that double chicane there. Like, I hit the wall so many times, all the time. I don't even know what position we're in at the minute. We are so far behind the lead NSX that there's absolutely no way we are winning this race. I don't even know if we're going to finish second, honestly. Because we're also so far behind the Supra, and the Supra is not slow. But we'll see what we can do. It's all about hunting down that Supra now, because the NSX is definitely going to be gone, and hitting that wall on the exit definitely doesn't help. At this point, I was just flustered. So annoyed with myself for hitting that wall. Not too bad of an exit from that one, because I often mess up that chicane as well. Apparently I'm just not very good at chicanes around this circuit. Heading into lap 2 then. There isn't my roof. Whee! That was a good shot, wasn't it? You can definitely tell I'm pushing at this point, can't you? You just tell with the body language of the car that I'm taking every inch of braking zone that I can. That's not really how you're supposed to go quickly around this or on this game. You need to brake in a straight line, be slow on the entry and fast on the exit. You know, slow in, fast out. You know, it's all very classic motorsport build, this game. That was quite neat and tidy, that though. Around that back corner. Quite a fun one. Some cars it's flat, others it's not. I can't remember whether I was flat through there or not in this. Corner can be quite difficult. Again, it's one of those where you're turning left and then braking, but you need to turn right. So you can quite easily end up facing the wall, well, hitting the wall because you've messed up the braking point. I've hit the exit barrier on that corner again, look. Can't tell whether that was good or not. From that angle, never mind. We got through it. We're not facing the wrong way, we're not stuck in a wall, so it couldn't have been that bad. Looking at the mini-map, I think we are starting to catch the Supra. Into the first braking point. Sliding round, not too bad. Would have been better if I hadn't hit the wall on the exit. Heading into the hairpin, sorry. Still can't see the Supra anywhere. We're definitely gaining on him, even if we can't see the car yet. Whoa, that looked very close to that wall. There we go, we can start seeing him now. That extra impetus when you can see your prey, you just go that little bit quicker. Or at least you push that a little bit more, whether you actually go quicker or not. It's all down to driver skill. Apparently I don't have much of. slide through there. Probably not the fastest way around it, but it looked cool. Around the last corner, heading onto the main straight into lap 3. That's how long this track is. We're only just starting lap 3. Wait, no. This is lap 4, sorry. Yeah, there you go, lap 4. Not bad. We're definitely closer. We are catching, so hopefully we can get second by the end of the race. We're never going to win this. The NSX is pulling away constantly. Don't want to be hitting that wall. Can we make it round this chicane properly this time without ending up in the barrier? Just about. Tap on the inside there. I think we've managed to get that corner relatively right every lap so far. Still sliding a bit too much and sort of rubbing the outside wall, but we've not gone straight on into it because we've locked the brakes, or with under braking we've carried on turning left. Love getting a slide on in that right hander before the left. And the left is probably the most important one, so I mean, it's clearly working. I'm obviously opening up the angle enough so that I can get round it, but when I am catching the Supra, but we're heading on to the final lap. Certainly within striking distance, literally striking distance, because we've striked him straight into a wall. Never mind. That's the Gran Turismo life. Now it's all about making sure I get around all these corners without making any silly mistakes. There are only 2 and 3 that I'm worried about, and all 3 of them are chicanes. This one, can I get this one right? Just about. Always looks like I'm going to understeer into that wall on the right hand side. This chicane I'm fine with. I quite like this one. That angle looks so cool. It's this next one that I'm worried about as well. Braking while you're turning. Right into a slide. That helps me get round quite nicely there. This double left-hander that I quite enjoy as well, into the hairpin. And then heading up to the final chicane, which is very important to get the exit right. And I've ballsed it and hit the wall. 2 walls. Luckily the Supra didn't go around me and ended up giving me a nice little split piece there. So he's not been able to overtake. But he is close, so I need to keep my foot in. Thankfully he's not gaining any time down here. So cross the line in second. We tried to throw it away at the end there, but wasn't too bad. I think we ended up something like 10 seconds, yeah there you go, 10.5 seconds behind the NSX. All because I decided to hit that wall on the on lap 1. But we still run the championship. That's the most important thing. $10,000 credits for the win, for second, sorry. And then championship bonus, 100,000 credits. Look at that. We're up to very nearly 300,000. You are the series champion. Well, obviously got a new car, which is excellent. I mean, it's not a bad car, but when we won a race car in the last one, and then this one was a much harder championship, and all we've got is a bog standard Impreza. Isn't ideal, and it's in a horrible colour as well. Oh well, never mind. That's going to have to be it for this episode. Join me next time when I take on the Hard Tune Challenge with probably another new car. So, I'll see you there.